We're all aware of paradigm shifts. Telegraph to telephone, radio to television, post mail to email, going to the library to Googling it. And now, physical money to digital money.
That's a whole new concept to most of us. And people have a difficult time trying to understand, well, if you can't hold it in your hand, it can't be true. It's in a computer, and what is it?
All new technologies come with their own language. The computer came up with an IP address, browser, URL, web page, and so on. This cryptocurrency is no different. Let's take a step back and start with understanding the basic language in cryptocurrency.
So you hear blockchain, and you hear mining, and you hear nodes, and you hear hash rates, and it does have its own lingo. But so does the internet. We talked about IP addresses and routers and access points. So you're like, oh, I'm used to that. So it's a certain amount of familiarity. It's no more complex than the things we had to learn about the internet.
What are some of the different cryptocurrencies, and what makes Bitcoin special?
Bitcoin is the largest cryptocurrencies. The next few would be Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Dash. And if you were to kind of aggregate all of these, Bitcoin is about 70% of the total market cap of all of these cryptocurrencies combined.
Bitcoin is based not on a government that can arbitrarily print your money or take your money. Bitcoin is based upon encryption, mathematical encryption. You may not trust an institution, but you can sort of trust mathematics. I mean, people are not going to wake up tomorrow and 2 + 2 be 17.
What I find compelling and interesting about Bitcoin is that this is the first time in human history where a finite currency has been created. There is no central bank controlling it. It's global. Whether you are a rural farmer in Africa or whether you are just someone who's working a simple 9-to-5, Bitcoin is something that is available to all of us, whether you are rich or poor.
It's not inflationary. There's a set amount of Bitcoin, 21 million. And so you can't just create more Bitcoin to pay for your overspending.
Amazon is now taking Bitcoin, Subway takes Bitcoin, Target takes Bitcoin. These are companies we're all familiar with.
There are about 300,000 vendors in the United States today, and literally millions of vendors around the world today that accept Bitcoin and trade.
It's the equivalent of a credit card, right? There was a time where not every business accepted a credit card, and now just about everywhere you go, a business is asking for a Visa or MasterCard.
It's really no different than when you use your credit card. You're not using money. It's all e-currency. And once you say that to somebody, they say, oh, okay, I understand that.
You can choose to purchase Bitcoins on an exchange, or you can choose to make your own through the process called mining. Each method has its pluses and minuses.
You break it down into quarters and pennies and nickels and so on. Well, Bitcoin is the same way. You buy little pieces of Bitcoin. So if you want to buy 1/10 of a Bitcoin or 1/200th of a Bitcoin, you can. It's mined. And they have these computers or mining rigs that mine Bitcoin. That's a difficult concept for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people, because how do you personally mine something? And how can you personally manufacture currency, even though it's e-currency, when it's illegal to do that for fiat currency?
You have a machine. Your machine gets a store of code, and it has to calculate that code and confirm that that code and that transaction inside of that code is legit.
Yep, that transaction is valid, post it to the ledger. So that is the work that's being done. Then you get Bitcoin out of it randomly.
People go into the stock market. It's up and down, it's up and down. And so is Bitcoin to a degree. But if you're mining, I think you have more of an advantage.
I think we're going to see an economy change where we go from trading hours for dollars to living on the balance sheet side of life. And you're already starting to see that. That is, Airbnb allows me to take the capital I've invested in my house and make money by sharing and letting people lease parts of my house from me. Turo, Lyft, Uber, they all allow you to take the money you've invested in your car and make some money from that. Now, true, today you have to drive your car. But tomorrow, doesn't it make sense that when cars are self-driving, you may have 2 or 3 cars out there picking people up and dropping them off, and you make some money from that? I think mining's much the same way. I think it's an opportunity to allow people to deploy a bit of capital and then let a computer make your living for you.
Where do you keep your Bitcoins? And what is an e-wallet?
I'm going to break it down into two sort of big buckets. One is it could be stored online with a company like ours, an institutional wallet. That allows you to transact with that coin. It allows you to invest that coin. But there have been some cases where some large organizations have gotten hacked, where bad actors have gotten in and frankly and unfortunately, they've stolen some Bitcoin. You can also literally store Bitcoin on your phone or on your computer, or literally, because it's just a series of numbers, you can store Bitcoin on a piece of paper.
Bitcoin was the first crypto to the marketplace. Many see it as a smart way to invest in crypto. Has it always been so successful?
Bitcoin really took off in 2009, just after 2008. And what happened in 2008 was the money centers, Wall Street, the banks, through collateralized debt obligations, blew up and destroyed more economic value than the entire history of banking had created.
In 2013, Bitcoin was trading on average around $120 a coin. I think as of this tape, it's hit 10,000. The volatility in the market cap of Bitcoin just in the last 2 days has been $57 billion. Now, to put that in perspective, that delta, the $57 billion, on May 16th of this year, the total market cap for crypto was $57 billion. And now we had that as a spread in a couple of trading days.
You may be wondering, aside from its impressive track record for increased value and convenience of use, are there any other advantages to owning Bitcoin as opposed to more traditional currency, or fiat as it's commonly referred to in the crypto space? Yes, there are many. Let's examine a few. Check or wire transfers can transfer funds in seconds to minutes opposed to days. Banks charge you fees and control your money. With an e-wallet, you control your money and there are no fees to store it. Transactions usually require releasing personal info to as many as 5 agencies. With cryptocurrencies, no personal info is required to send or receive currency. Banks, credit unions, PayPal, etc., they or someone else can freeze your assets. With cryptocurrencies, no one controls your money but you. Think about that for a second. Instead of someone else controlling your money, you're in the driver's seat. With government-controlled currencies, attempting to create your own legal government tender will land you in prison. With cryptocurrencies, you mine and create your own money. And the best part is, it's encouraged. Now, you're probably saying cryptocurrencies make sense and mining might be the way to go. But you're also thinking this might be complicated and I better do my homework. Or this must require some serious research, right? Well, you can relax. Bcause has you covered. We've taken the work out of homework and search out of research. We have simplified the process, reduced the cost, and will do 90% of the work for you. Because that's what we do.
Today, it's true that you could go to Coinbase or Poloniex or Kraken and you could do spot exchange. Or you could go to Terra Exchange or LedgerX and you could do some kind of futures contract if you're an institutional investor. Or you could go to Genesis if you want to get a mining contract. But there's nobody that's integrated the vertical stack for everybody, so that at one spot you could do your mining, you could sell what you've mined, you could hedge what you're about to mine, and it's all taken care of at one stop, as seamless and as user-friendly as possible.